Hello, this is the AP Statistics Free Response Questions by High School Math Analyzers. Today we'll be looking at the 2019 Free Response question of question 3 in the AP Statistics test. Question 3. A medical researcher surveyed a large group of men and women about whether they take medicine as prescribed. The responses were categorized as never, sometimes, or always. The relative frequency of each category is shown in the table. So, for 3I here, we're asking, what is the probability that the person selected will be someone whose response is never and who is a woman? So just looking at this never column, we can kind of just go down and see where it kind of lines up with woman. So going down the column, we see that with woman in this row here, it aligns at 0.0636. So that is actually our answer for the probability that the person selected will be someone whose response is never and who is a woman. Now, the only thing we should forget is how to write the notation. So P as in probability, and in parentheses, never intersection of woman. Now what this intersection means, and basically the intersection symbol is a backwards U. It's just the and symbol, where when it's asking for the probability of someone who's never and who is a woman, that and represents this intersection sign, and just the notation for how we write that. Now, or part 2 of question 3, what is the probability that the person selected will be someone whose response is never or who is a woman? So we're looking at this chart, at this table once more, and we want to see who's never or who is a woman. So our formula for that is the probability that of never or who is a woman, and that's going to be that notation U or union. And basically that just means or. It's just a fancy way, a special symbol for doing that. And our formula for doing that is taking the probability of never, that someone never takes a medicine as prescribed, which is 0.12, and add that to the probability of women who will take it as prescribed, which is 0.53. But the only thing we have to do in addition to that is subtract the two when it's both never and woman, and we get our answer 0.5864. So you might be wondering, why do we subtract the probability that it's never and it's in terms of who takes the medicine as prescribed? That's because there's an overlap. So since we're asking for never or woman for who takes the medicine, we have to eliminate that overlap in the probability of the people who never take it who are women, which is this 0.0636. So we have to subtract that out. So we do 0.12 plus 0.53 minus 0.0636. And we're left with the probability of 0.5864 or 58.64%. Now, next question. What is the probability that the person selected will be someone whose response is never, given that the person is a woman? So this given is actually the symbol for that. Is this kind of like eye looking shape? It's just a line here. It can also be written as a slash, kind of like a fraction. And we want to see which probability is never, given that it's a woman. So we know that the person is a woman. So we're looking at this row right here of woman, and we want to see how many people never take it. So never would be the 0.636, but we're looking at it as the total of all the women. So what we can do is we can do 0.0636 over the total of the woman, 0.53. And once again, that slash means given. And when we do that, and do that division, we end up getting 0.12 or 12%, which is the probability. Next question. For the people surveyed, are the events of being a person whose response is never and being a woman independent? Justify your answer. So, just taking a look here, we can see that the probability of there being someone never taking the medicine as prescribed is 0.12. As we can just go down this column and see and line it up, never 0.12. Also, the probability of that, given that someone is a woman, that they never take it is also 0.12, which is where it's tricky. But if we look at how we come up with that answer, we're doing what we did in the last problem, where we do 0.0636 divided by 0.53. So obviously, although the probability is the same, there's a different way of getting our answer, and obviously they're independent of each other, because this never here was also factored in for men and women, and we'll be adding these two of 0.0564 and 0.0636 instead of doing this division that we just did in the last problem. Therefore, yes, I would say that the event of being a person who responds never is independent of the event of being a woman. So yes, thank you for watching, and subscribe.